Okay, mate. Now, because of where I babysit my grandkids, it's next to a construction site, and they're always doing something, bashing something. Well, today I started hearing voices in my head, and the guy was doing a reference of Scotty on Star Trek. I need more power, and I can't get it, Captain. I thought, more power. Yep, alright, more power. This is the AF intake saw, and I never showed what I did with the Frankenstein saw. So I thought, why not give it more power? And I believe this thing could probably take it. It's a bit hard to tune. The 372 XP. Now this is a original carby. It got damaged, so I can't remember that part there. Got damaged where you put the cable on. So I thought, why not? Now another guy done videos on how to do this, but I worked out how to actually do it and get performance out of it. But why not give it more power? And I think it will take the fuel and the air, because it needs more air, more fuel, and this thing will really fly. So let's do it. I'll show you what I had to do. It's not difficult, but you need to do a bit of brazing. Now, the only way I can do it, the Frankenstein, I couldn't get an air filter. I probably can if I modify the saw a bit more, but so if I cut that part there out, so I can put the carby down lower, I'll probably be alright. But I should be able to fit it inside the body of this saw. So I'll quickly pull it apart. And technology I really like. I don't use it to screw it back together though. Do everything by hand. Otherwise you strip things, especially being Chinese. This bit's made from China. The magnetism is going on. But most things are alright. You get what you pay for, guys. What it boils down to. If you can't afford it, you put up with it, don't you? Then top cover. Now it's got a Chinese spark plug. I'd probably assume that's some brand new, which is like unbelievable, really. Now I pulled this apart yesterday and fixed the stop button. I don't know if it was that, but stop button goes right down. Yeah, stop button goes right down. I don't think it was going fully down. I think they're right. This boot, if you don't get the boot dead right when you put it together, so you put to push it right forward, otherwise it interferes. I think that was causing it. Anyway, choke lever off. That's easy. That's the same thing. I think I had to modify it a little tiny bit. It's a shame I got this thing going so good. Alright. Don't need them screws. Don't need the pulse line the way it is right now. Because this carby's going bye-bye for the meantime. Try to push the lever to one side. Did this carby up. It's out now. Hopefully it doesn't spew petrol over it, probably will. No. Get a lot of air piston out there. It's not heavy. Not heavy, man. Now, we don't need the intake ring. Have a go at the size difference. That's the intake ring for this one. This is X372. That's how much air, extra air, guys, this thing's gonna get. Massive amount more air and fuel. So I thought I'd show why and how you do it. Right. So we get rid of the mounting bracket. Don't need that now. I'll put it together, back together later. I'm curious to see how this will go. A few tanks fuel. I'll tune a bit better. Can't do too much tuning with neighbours and stuff. I'm waiting for someone to yell at me. So far, so good. even when I cut firewood, there's a guy there, Teddles, he comes out and whinges and stuff. Even though it's industrial land, he whinges. Now, intake boot, there's a screw missing there to me, something fell down the back. Have to find that after last time. I'm not going to lose a screw, there it is. No screw left uncalled for. Right. Now, got to take the intake off. You see that? Yep, intake, it goes. More screws. These screws are the shorter ones. And so, yeah, put these back together. Slightly shorter. They're a better camera system. They're body ones. Screws. Where do they go? Here it is. You do a camera course, buy camera gear, better lighting. Then I got my life. Let's do all the stuff I want to do. Right, there's the carby bits. Pull the intake off. Will it come off? Probably not easily. Screwdriver. These intakes are got metal fabricated inside them. So you can muck around them. Glue's hanging on this one. Wow. Hanging good too. There we go. No seal. So there's the intake. No air leaks using that stuff. Right. There's the air intake. Because this thing goes awesome. I'm surprised. It shouldn't go the way it goes. After the way it went the first time, I'm actually quite impressed. Get super. Right. So that's the air intake. Now here's trying Frankenstein. Started undoing it. I thought I should show you what I did. So if someone wants to make it, do it. Go for it. I'll know what close out what I'm doing, what I show. But people, if you want to muck around, it's cheap to do. Now, the intake boot. That's a 372 XP boot. I'll show you that in a sec. I've undone the clamp because the clamp goes in front of the screw to hold the intake boot on. Hopefully I get to it now. And that's right, so better show it record this. So can't remember how I did it now. What time ago? Yeah, it's got the right screws too. I like this. Right. Take the boot off. Now the boot itself, I've actually cut part of the boot. Did I cut the boot in this one? Not sure now. No, I think it's factory. Well, I didn't cut it. I cut part of it out to fit around the actual intake. So, standard boot, standard mount for a 372. I can even cut that part there off because that's for the cable for a 372. But I left it because it doesn't get in the road. 372 intake ring. So that's what you need for that. What I got to hang up on was the air intake for the air filter. It sits too far back, or not far back enough. It hits the air filter, hits the spark plug. So I'm going to use Chinese air filter because it's only a muck around install just to see how it goes. So basically, it fits just perfectly. Now it works. I know I mucked around before, but I was trying to get a proper air filter, so debris doesn't get in the saw. When I done the video for Chinese Frankenstein, it sucked a lot of crap in the saw, but I don't think it's damaged. I'll quick look and see. But this bolts on. It should bolt properly. I'll have a check of this. The choke's the problem. Yep, I'll show you that. The choke does fit. So it only just kisses. So I'll probably have to push this down when I mount it up, but that should be fine. Then the air filter fits, so that's good. Now the only difference is we don't need the 4mm Allen key bolts because it's the wrong thread. So we got to use the Husqvarna that I got from the Phomatech. They go into the bracket for here. It was the hardest bit. You got to get your bracket right, and I crap screw in. So it screws into that. So that'll hold it all together, nice and sandwiched. What's the size? So you look, that's the factory intake. My intake starts there, so it's an extra, what would that be? 12 mils, 13 mils? Longer. So the carby will stick further back, but I'm pretty sure it will fit. It mightn't fit with the top air filter cover, but I don't really care. I want to see how this thing flies. Now, put that back there. So that's covered that. I also use the Chinese choke lever, where it is. Alright. I think with this particular choke lever, you gotta bend it just a bit. Not much, but for all intents and purposes, I'm not going to try and start very often. But it does work if you careful how you pull. But that's pretty good. Oh, that's right. I drilled a hole just there. So it does work. I think there must be a choke lever in that container. I'll look and see. But yeah, that's pretty good. I'll pull this intake off. This is the worst part. You're going to manufacture this. Another screw. I find the worst part about these saws is this part here. I always seem to forget. There's a rubber strip that sits up like that, which has to go like that. Many times I'm mucking around where I've put it all back together and it pinches between that and the where's that metal part? Metal part. No, between that, the air filter part. It'll get pinched between the carby and that backing plate there. So it'll cause an air leak, or you just can't judge it, or your linkages don't work, so be careful of that. I was doing this earlier. That's the rim drive off the AF intake I was running before. I'm going to run a 7 tooth now, and I'm going to use a 22-inch bar to see what the difference is. When I was running this before in that timber, it was 8 tooth, but this is 62, 62, so it's a bigger saw, heavily poured. So I It won't be the same, but it'll be close. But you know, I'll go and baby steps. Dolly steps. Right, there's the intake. So that is really this. So what I did is put it on the floor with a blowtorch and burnt all the rubber off it. And it's got a metal plate on the inside. The tube, I can't remember what the tube was. I know I brazed around the outside of the tube until it was the right diameter and filed it. And I thought, oh, that'll do. And it turned to be alright. So if someone's got better gear, they could probably do that. By not doing that, I opened it up as much as I could. But you could probably go on the outside of the tube if you want to, outside the bracket. But you be careful where your screws go in. I had problems on that side there, where the screws, that side, because the screw wouldn't sit down flat. But that'll fit now. Anyway, so I'll clean this all up, stick it on the AF intake, and we'll see how she goes, because this is going to fly. Well, I hope it's going to fly. But yeah, but I might check this 62, because see if I've done any damage to the motor. Oh, still compression. I'm going to pinch a spark plug out of it too. It's got a good champion spark plug. No damage to it. Hardly use the thing. It's one of my first Chinese saws I've ever got. I think it cost $15 locally. Had no spark, I think it was. I got a second-hand spark plug, second-hand coil, and it ran. Yeah, it's fine. So I'll shut the intake off. So yeah, I'll show you that. So I got my hand out of it. So the rings come down on the other Chinese saw I just showed last video. It gets to there, and then you can see light coming from the spark plug hole out the intake. So blow by. I've never seen that before. I thought it'd be a giggle. Yeah, that's what's going on there. So I'll put that down. I'll have to clean everything up, mount everything. Trying to find the time of the day and the energy. Make it all work. But crazy man. Crazy ideas. So that way goes on like that. So clean it all up. We put the intake boot back on, make sure the angle's right, because that's the most important part. Actually no, it's not. Oh yes it is. Go get these holes lined up with the boot, so you're looking 180 degrees. I might cut this aluminium part off, I think. I'm not going to use it. I've got more of them anyway. So it's going to sit horizontal like that. And the carby's going to come across. Hopefully this rubber thing doesn't get in the road. I'll leave that unless I have to cut it. And yeah, should be a screamer, hopefully. But yeah, I'm quite excited to see how this thing goes. Alright guys, I'll make a video when it runs. Thanks for watching.